They say some books whisper, some scream, and then there are books that simply refuse to speak at all. It's unlike anything else on Earth. A weathered, leather-bound codex with looping script that matches no known language and illustrations that defy logic. To the world, it's known as the Voynich Manuscript, and it shouldn't exist.
So, welcome to Mystery with Minnie.
The story begins, or at least that's what I could found, in 1912, when an eccentric, rare book dealer named Wilfred Voynich was rummaging through an old trunk in a Jesuit college near Rome. What he found wasn't just another medieval tome. It was impossible. About 240 pages of thick vellum, covered front to back with bizarre text and alien plants, cosmic diagrams, naked women in surreal bathing rituals, and strange astrological symbols that no one, not then, not now, has been able to decipher. Voynich, stunned and electrified, took the book back to London and began a quest that would soon spiral into one of the greatest literary enigmas in recorded history. Some believed it was a medical journal, others thought it might be a book of magic or alchemy, but most simply called it what it truly was: undecipherable. The writing flows beautifully, almost hypnotically, across every page, but it matches no known alphabet, language, or cipher, and that's not for lack of trying. The world's most brilliant cryptographers, including those who cracked Nazi Enigma codes, have spent lifetimes trying to unravel it. Each has walked away with the same answer: nothing. The script itself, often called Voyniches, appears purposeful, almost natural, as if someone were truly writing in a language they knew. It follows linguistic rules, repeating patterns, word structures, even what looks like grammar. But despite all the structure, it yields no translation. And then there are the illustrations. That's where the mystery deepens, because if the script is alien, the images are worse. There are detailed drawings of plants, but none of them match any known species. Imagine flowers that spiral in unnatural geometry, leaves shaped like stars or feathers, and root systems that resemble tangled wires. In other sections, there are illustrations of astronomical charts, stars, moons, and circular diagrams that seem to echo zodiac symbols, but not quite. Some elements match horoscopic charts from medieval Europe, while others seem ripped from another cosmos entirely. Then it gets even weirder. A full section of the book is devoted to naked women, not sexualized, but oddly childlike, immersed in strange green pools, holding tubes that connect to stars or pouring fluid into unseen mechanisms. They float, bathe, reach, and vanish across the pages, caught in scenes that suggest rituals, fertility rites, or some forgotten cosmology. It feels sacred, yet unreadable. By now, Voynich was obsessed. He scoured Europe for clues, convinced the manuscript had belonged to a great mind, perhaps Roger Bacon, the 13th century English philosopher known for his obsession with science, language, and secret knowledge. If the manuscript was his, then it might contain untold secrets of the natural world. But when Voynich died, he took those hopes with him. The manuscript passed hands, eventually arriving at Yale, where it rests today behind glass. A silent riddle. Over the decades, scholars, hoax hunters, and digital warriors have attacked the Voynich from every angle. AI programs, linguistic algorithms, and pattern recognition software have all tried to crack the code. Each time they fail, not because it's nonsense, but because it seems just close enough to being real. In 2013, an AI analysis of the script suggested the language does follow real linguistic patterns, more than a hoaxer could have realistically invented 600 years ago. Statistical models revealed complexity, consistency, and entropy levels on par with natural human languages. So if it is a real language, then who wrote it? And why? That's where the theories begin to spiral. One theory points to Roger Bacon, the English polymath from the 1200s. Bacon was ahead of his time. He dabbled in optics, alchemy, astronomy, and early scientific methods centuries before the Renaissance took hold. Voynich himself believed the manuscript was Bacon's lost masterwork, encoded to protect its secrets from a church that feared too much knowledge. Others suggest John Dee, the mystical advisor to Queen Elizabeth I, a man who spoke of angels, alternate dimensions, and the language of creation. Dee, along with his partner Edward Kelly, claimed to channel beings from higher realms through a divine language called Enochian. Some believe the Voynich is a record of those communications, or a translation of knowledge from beyond. But the manuscript itself refuses to date neatly. Carbon testing on the vellum pages places it around the early 1400s, a time when Europe was still clawing its way out of the medieval age. That rules out Dee and Bacon as direct authors, but not necessarily as sources. Perhaps it was copied from older texts. Perhaps it was part of a secret tradition passed down through centuries. And then there are the truly wild theories, where some believe the manuscript is not of this world at all. They point to the unknown plant species, the astronomical charts that don't match Earth's sky, the peculiar blue-green fluid the women seem to bathe in, often said to resemble amniotic or cosmic plasma. Could it be that the Voynich manuscript is a relic from another planet or another dimension entirely? Even the CIA and NSA took notice. During the Cold War, American intelligence cryptographers tried to decipher the Voynich, thinking it might be a secret Soviet code disguised as nonsense. After years of study, they gave up. Not because it was gibberish, but because they couldn't prove it was gibberish. The structure was too convincing. More recently, in 2019, a researcher from the University of Bristol claimed he'd finally cracked the code. Using a combination of Latin and shorthand, he suggested the manuscript was a women's health manual. The claim exploded in the media, and just as quickly fell apart under academic scrutiny. The translation didn't hold up. The patterns didn't match. It was yet another false dawn. Others have suggested that the Voynich manuscript may be a sophisticated hoax, created to sell for a high price in the 15th or 16th century. But that explanation doesn't sit well with many scholars. Faking a language is one thing. Faking one with consistent grammar, word frequency, and entropy levels that mimic natural speech is another, especially in an age before computers or even standardized linguistics. There's also something else: the effort. The book wasn't hastily thrown together. It's made with high-quality vellum, carefully hand-lettered, and meticulously illustrated. Whoever made it spent years, maybe decades, on it. For what purpose? It's not just a puzzle. It feels intentional. To open the Voynich manuscript is to step into a world both ancient and untouched. Its colors remain vibrant: reds, blues, greens, preserved as if it knew it would outlive its makers. The text dances like a song without melody. The images hint at meaning just beyond reach, and page after page it draws you in, deeper and deeper, into a book that's alive with silence. Perhaps that's the most haunting thing about it. That in an age where we've mapped genomes and sent robots to Mars, this one little book, written by hand on the skin of a calf 600 years ago, remains unbroken. A whisper from the past that no one alive can answer. A message meant either for a mind long gone or not yet born. There's a strange power in things we cannot explain. The Voynich manuscript has no known title, no credited author, no glossary, no table of contents, no preface or dedication. It doesn't ask to be read, only witnessed. And yet, for over a century since its rediscovery, and likely many more before, it has demanded attention. Mysteries like this, they challenge our very sense of order, of control, of understanding. We live in an age of answers, an age where every question seems just one search away from resolution. And yet, here is this book, a beautifully written, ornately illustrated, utterly silent volume that refuses to yield. It doesn't scream to be solved. It simply exists in its own space, in its own time. And maybe that's why it haunts us, because it reminds us that for all our knowledge, there are still shadows on the edge of the map. It reminds us that not everything ancient has been unearthed, that not every mystery is meant to be solved. Some see in the Voynich a cipher of forgotten science, others a sacred text written in a language lost to time. There are those who swear it contains the secrets of healing, astronomy, botany, the stars. Some see the divine, some see deception, some see a reflection of themselves, endlessly interpreting meaning from symbols that offer none in return. And maybe that's the real secret of the Voynich Manuscript. Maybe it was never meant to be read. Maybe it was meant to inspire, to remind us that imagination is not bound by translation, that wonder does not require explanation, that a single book filled with made-up plants, mysterious women, impossible languages can still ignite a century of curiosity across borders, languages, and belief systems. It's a strange thought, isn't it? That something written by a person we will never know, in a script we may never understand, might just be the most powerful kind of communication there is. Not one of meaning, but one of mystery. Because mystery, unlike language, is universal. Maybe the Voynich Manuscript is a time capsule from a forgotten world. Maybe it's a prank played by a bored alchemist. Or maybe, just maybe, it's a gift. A reminder that not every question has an answer. And sometimes, that's exactly what we need. So if you ever find yourself standing before it, behind that protective glass at Yale, staring into the curling loops of its impossible text, you might not feel frustration. You might feel peace. The quiet recognition that the universe still holds secrets, and that's not a problem to be solved, but a wonder to be cherished. In the end, the Voynich Manuscript is not just a book, it's a mirror. And in that mirror, we see not just what we don't understand, but who we are when faced with the unknown. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today. Until next time, stay curious, because the truth is rarely simple and the most haunting mysteries are the ones that never quite let go.